Your health and wellness has a direct impact on how well you're going to age, how long you're going to live, and how good you're going to feel as you get older. Life expectancy in general has gone up because of declines mainly in infant mortality and infectious diseases. Yet the attainable lifespan hasn't really changed. We're not living longer, but we are avoiding premature deaths. This survival curve shows an attainable lifespan of approximately 85 years with a standard deviation of 4 years. This means that about 68% of the population will live to be between 81 and 89 years old, while more people, 95% of the population roughly, will live to be between 77 and 93 years. This means that you need to plan for your later years and think now about how you're going to feel when you're older. Notice on the survival curve around 1900 there was a good change. 1840, 1900. That's when sanitation improved and people weren't getting sick and dying because of sanitation issues. And then advances in medicine in the 1940s and better general care overall. People are dying at older ages now because of modern medicine. The delay of chronic illness increases adult vigor. So vigor is an important marker for how well you are aging. Do you have energy? Do you have life left in your years? You want to grow old gracefully, but you want to be focused on quality of life and independence. Life remains physically active, emotionally, intellectually vigorous until shortly before its end. Appropriate healthy behaviors can delay the onset of diseases that reduce vigor. Heart and lung function, bone density, blood pressure, and blood cholesterol levels can be improved to increase the span of your vigorous years. Research indicates that activity adds years to your life and life to your years. One of the scariest things about getting old is losing function and becoming frail. When you're frail, you experience a lot of fear, unexpected accidents, you lose self-confidence, you're fearful about your safety, and the world becomes an obstacle course. The loss of function can be inconvenient at first, but people adapt, and then eventually they become frail. So let's look at this chart. You can see at the top left that when you have vigor, you can experience fun. And this is probably the time of life you're in now. And if you're missing out on feeling like you have the energy to have fun, then you know that you have some health issues that need addressed. But you probably still have access to this. You probably haven't lost a ton of function, which is the next level down. When you lose function, you become frail. And when you're frail, you start to experience failure. And that's the last rung on this ladder. And failure means that you're in decline and probably on your way to death. And you can see on the bottom of this chart age from 50 on towards 90. There is a sharp decline for sedentary individuals from fun in your 40s down to starting to lose function and, oh, I can't lift things anymore. I can't run around and play tennis anymore. It hurts my back. It hurts my neck. It hurts my knees. Things like that. Or I can't go shopping as long because I get tired. My balance is getting worse. My vision is getting worse. These kinds of things. You start to lose noticeable function from about 40 to 50 when you're sedentary. And then between 50 and 75 years old, it's just a steady decline in functions. Just one thing after another, you start to experience limitations and you just can't do the things you used to be able to do. I had a funny story about my in-laws, who my father-in-law needed to get up on a ladder to trim a small tree, and so he had my mother-in-law come out and hold the ladder, and they both thought that they still were functional enough to do that, and instead the ladder went toppling and they fell on top of each other because they were actually a little bit too old to be doing that, getting up on a ladder. They didn't have the balance, the coordination, the strength to help each other do that. So it was kind of comical because nobody got hurt, but it was also a red flag. You often, as you age, you don't realize you can't do things until you really can't do things. For sedentary individuals at the age of 75, there's a sharp drop in the next 10 years, and you really start to become frail, and after 85, failure. But notice the active population. You can really stave off this decline. From 50 to 65, you can stay in the fun category if you have an active lifestyle. You can stave off loss of function and really only have to navigate that period of your life where you're starting to give up things, maybe switching from tennis to pickleball or switching to golf or something like that, between 65 and 85. But you can still do things because you have function. And it isn't until after 85, as you're late into your 80s, that you'll experience frailty. Again, our lifespan has not really changed, but what we can do for more years of our lives can be very much affected by your lifestyle. Healthy aging consists of having healthy habits, preventing injuries, allowing modern medicine especially to help you manage chronic conditions, getting care, optimizing your physical, cognitive, and mental health through the activities you choose, the stimulation you choose, being mindful of these things, working at them. And finally, facilitating social engagement. It turns out that because we are social beings, the longer we can plug in to social circles, support, stimulation, the longer we'll have fun. And it's a key component in healthy aging. You can refer to your book for some other theories of aging. Researchers have been looking at caloric restriction or how inherited factors affect our aging. Quite a bit of research has been done on free radicals and stress. I'm not going to go into them in this lecture, but if you're curious about these things, it is interesting to hear what researchers are doing in this area. But really, for general good aging, you need the chart to the right. Changeable aspects of aging that can be affected by a healthy lifestyle and everything on the previous image are listed in table 6.1 of your text. So let's look at some of these. So an aging marker, your cardiac output, how well your heart functions, can be changeable through exercise. Glucose tolerance, a diabetes marker, is also strongly affected by exercise, diet, and weight control as a trifecta. Osteoporosis, your bone density, can be positively affected by weight-bearing exercises especially, and also diet. Pulmonary function, your lungs, through exercise and the healthy choice of not smoking, and so on. There are significant things that can be modified through lifestyle and activity. The main healthy habits to keep in mind are adequate sleep, get 7 to 8 hours a day. It takes about 7.5 hours to produce enough human growth hormone to fully recover from exercise or any kind of stress or labor, so keep that in mind. Having a good breakfast, starting your day off on the right foot and not on a blood sugar roller coaster with a high sugar, high carb breakfast is always a good idea. It reduces stress on your internal organs to eat a healthy breakfast. Having regular meals, weight control, making sure that your body composition is in a healthy range, abstinence from smoking cigarettes, moderate alcohol consumption, and of course regular activity and exercise. When experts refer to healthy habits and a healthy lifestyle, this is what they mean. This is the main list. Longevity is the length of your life, the number of years in your life. If you're interested in living longer, the common traits associated with longevity are moderation, which is key in all areas of life, including diet, vices, work, activity, and play. It's about the work-life balance of moderation. Flexibility, and this is psychological flexibility, being able to accept change and avoid rigid habits is a quality associated with people who have longevity. Accepting challenge in your life, accepting the challenges you face in life, and also creating challenge as necessary if you get bored or complacent or listless. Not being afraid to go out and create challenge is another longevity trait. Having good health habits like a relaxed attitude towards your health, doing things in moderation, and generally leading a healthy lifestyle without being obsessive about it, but being conscientious. Having and maintaining relationships are a key longevity trait. Older people enjoy the relationships they have with others, maintain an interest in friends and family, and enjoy their marriages. The active life as a longevity trait refers to engaging in daily routines that require activity, meaning purposeful and meaningful activity are included in your life. And finally, a person's outlook. Maintaining a positive outlook and enjoying each stage of life has been associated with longevity. The stages of life or seasons of life to consider when talking about aging are young adult, adult, middle-aged, senior, elder, and centenarian. At the young adult stage, this is the stage in life that often requires severing ties, getting an education, finding a mate, establishing a career, and sometimes starting a family. In the adult stage, often the 30-something adult purchases a home. Sometimes this time in life brings the realization that the time to reach your goals, your original goals, may be slipping away. Middle age from 45 to 55 is about redefining roles in life, and it may bring a renewal of purpose. At senior, this period can be the best of all and when one has the resources to fulfill personal goals. Elder is after 80 years. People often say they slow down, but shouldn't stop. Maintaining physical vitality allows for many years of independent living. And centenarians, the number of people living beyond 100 is rising, and they often are positive and realistic, have a sense of humor, are spiritual, have courage, and can accept the loss that may come with age. So, looking at these seasons of life, how many people do you know who are middle-aged or seniors with the bodies of elders? Do you know someone, or do you know any 80-year-olds who act more like seniors? Your real age, again, goes back to that chart of, are you having fun? Do you have function? Are you experiencing frailty or failure? So the seasons of life can be extended with healthy habits. Consider physiological age as a composite of health, physiological capacity, and performance measures, including aerobic fitness scores, which are considered the best single measure of physiological age. They measure the health and capacity of respiratory, circulatory, and muscular systems. Other indicators of physiological age are family history, health habits, blood pressure and cholesterol, measures of strength, reaction time, vision, and hearing. Large cross-sectional studies have shown that aerobic fitness declines about 8 to 10% per decade. Moderately active people can attenuate this decline to only 4 to 5% per decade. In trained individuals, the decline may be as small as 2% per decade. Strength declines until about the 5th decade, and then it declines more rapidly. The loss of muscle mass is called sarcopenia, and it's linked both to diet, especially diets that don't have enough protein, and movement, how little or how much activity seniors get. Willett determined that this is a component in frailty that contributes to loss of strength, increased falls, and fractures. It's been linked to osteoporosis, insulin resistance, and arthritis. Deschnes discovered that a decrease in testosterone and an increase in catabolic hormones causes more wasting of muscle. However, Fiatroni found that resistance training in elderly can decrease sarcopenia and counter muscle weakness. You can refer to these references in your text. To ensure a vigorous and independent retirement, maintain physical fitness throughout life. The sooner you start in a fitness program and the more you invest, the better off you will be. The best time to start is when you're young, and the second best time is now. Better fitness will mean reduced future medical costs and less need for long-term care. Building purposeful activity into your life will help to ensure better fitness throughout your life and possibly greater longevity. Living a long life is only half of the story. With increased physical activity, you will live independently longer and will be able to do the things you enjoy. Starting now will build your future health.